Off the dock and on the clock, Green Bay now officially has the NFL Draft.
I can think of no better place to host the NFL Draft for the great state of Wisconsin and Green Bay.
A ceremonial football ferried across Lake Michigan, being biked north right now from Milwaukee to Lambeau Field.
Bicycling is a big part of the state of Wisconsin, just like football is. And so to be able to combine the two together, it's a great opportunity to just be a part of it.
Our countdown to the draft coverage tops Action 2 News at 5.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. 345 days and counting until the 2020-25 NFL Draft, of course, hosted right here in our backyard.
Last month's draft held in Detroit today. Michigan passed the baton to Wisconsin in the form of a special football, of course. Tonight, team coverage is focused on our countdown to the draft coverage. We start in Milwaukee with Emerson Lehman, where the handoff between the states took place.
The ball has been handed off, the play underway. That draft football on its way to Titletown after an early morning trip over the choppy waters of Lake Michigan to the shoreline here in Milwaukee. The Lake Express ferry taking the handoff from Michigan and delivering that ball safely to Wisconsin. Now, the draft isn't just bringing excitement to Green Bay and the state of Wisconsin. It's expected to bring over 250,000 visitors and an economic impact of $94 million to the state, something Governor Tony Evers says everyone can celebrate.
We're the home of Titletown. We sure the hell aren't going to fumble it on our own turf.
After rocking and rolling from Detroit across the lake, that football now on more solid ground as it makes its way toward Titletown. Reporting in Milwaukee, Emerson Lehman, Action 2 News.
Thanks, Emerson. That pedal to the draft still underway hours after that handoff in Milwaukee. Brittany Schmidt following along the trail. She joins us now live in the newsroom with the path so far. And here's that pedal to the draft path from Milwaukee, starting with the ferry handoff to Titletown. Some pit stops, of course, along the way. Brittany?
Bill, the bikers are a couple of hours into their long trek, about 140 miles from Milwaukee to Titletown, with some historic pit stops along the way. Here's an aerial view of their first stop with the ceremonial football in hand, the Summerfest grounds. We are just 36 days away from the annual major music festival in Milwaukee. Next, they stopped at the Milwaukee Art Museum for a quick photo opportunity, home of 30,000 works of art. Then they got back on their bikes, Peter and Tracy Fluke on their tandem bike, and headed north along the lakeshore to Manitowoc to the Farm Wisconsin Discovery Center, a place that highlights Wisconsin's rich history of agriculture. Our crews caught up with the bicyclists along the path, embracing the football-like weather today.
It's truly an opportunity to showcase Wisconsin, our communities, the football culture, and also our great outdoor recreation culture and offerings across the state. Biking is something that's truly Wisconsin, just like football. You might not think they go together, but here we are today, cycling to hand off the football for the draft in 2025, and we hope when folks come to the draft that they're here to come visit our communities too, and maybe try biking or some other outdoor recreation.
At this time, the bikers should be getting pretty close to their stop in De Pere before continuing on their path to Titletown. We will continue to follow the Pedal to the Draft Brigade as they inch closer, mile by mile, to eventually meet up with kids to honor another Packers tradition. Cammie.
Brittany, thank you. Of course, our Emily Byer is on the ground, standing by for that caravan making its way to Lambeau Field. Emily.
Cammie, we're here on Armed Forces Drive. We are at the ready at the entrance of Ray Nitschke Field. You can see here beautiful Lambeau Field in the background. What a gorgeous day. This would be a wonderful day to get the kids involved in that bike ride. Now the Packers are asking you and the family to come on down here. Be here at 6 o'clock sharp. Of course, the Packers putting their own twist on the draft by including the kids with the biking tradition. It was first started under the legendary Vince Lombardi in 1958. Since then, kids bring their bikes to Lambeau Field to catch a Packers player and ride over to training camp with them. And in about an hour, kids will help finish that final leg of the journey to Lambeau Field along with the caravan that is still making their way here. So again, grab your green and gold gear, get here. Again, the clock is taking you of 1 hour to meet us here at the entrance of Ray Nitschke Field. Bill.
All right, Emily, thank you. Jason Zimmerman continues our team coverage from Lambeau Field where the countdown clock to the draft is about to be unveiled. Jason.
Bill, that clock is all set to go, I'm told. Fans are just starting to gather inside the Lambeau Field atrium for tonight's big event. That clock right behind me, you can see it. It is all covered up just above a sign greeting fans either coming to a game or visiting the stadium for another event. This is an exciting time for fans and a chance to show off the stadium and the city to a worldwide audience. Many people telling me it is long overdue, and having a countdown clock on display will allow every second to be savored leading up to the draft next spring.
Once in a lifetime opportunity for the Packers, being the smallest city in the NFL out of 32 cities. Yes, that's huge.
The unveiling of the countdown clock is scheduled to take place right around 6:30. We'll be streaming it online as well. Reporting live at Lambeau Field, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.
Thank you, Jason. And as he just mentioned, we'll be streaming the countdown ceremony live on WBAY.com and, of course, our Facebook page as well. It's now 345 days until the first night of the 2025 NFL Draft. Action 2 News is covering all the aspects of the lead-up to this major event. Tomorrow we begin a weekly series called Countdown to the Draft, showing how the community is preparing for hundreds of thousands of people coming to Northeast Wisconsin next April. Find all our draft reports at WBAY.com/draft. Taking now to take a live look outside our Lambeau Field by our Skycam network. Clear to sunny evening out there tonight, following some really nasty hazy skies.
Hazy skies once again. It will get colder by tonight. Some of the viewing area will be under a frost advisory. Let's go right to meteorologist David Ernst with your first alert forecast. David.
Cammie, Bill, with clear skies tonight and winds that will turn lighter. Temperatures will drop fast after sunset. And as mentioned, we do have a frost advisory for some of our northern areas. And they go to Marinette northward. It does include northern Oconto and northern Marinette counties, as well as Langlade, Forest, and Florence counties. That's where temperatures tonight will be cold enough to support at least some patchy frost. So if you have any cold sensitive plants up that way, you may want to bring them inside or cover them up. Area-wide, we are generally running cooler than we were yesterday at this time by several degrees. We're still holding on to lower and middle 60s around the Fox Valley and westward, already down into the 50s along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Winds are still a bit brisk right now, especially from the Fox cities towards the lake shore, 10 to 20 miles per hour. But as we get closer to sunset, those winds will settle down and speeds will drop under 10 miles per hour throughout the night. We will stay quiet here on First Alert Viper Max. Just a little bit of high cloud cover lingering across southern Wisconsin. You see some signs of our next weather maker, far left-hand corner of your screen, a few rain showers coming out of the Dakotas. Eventually, that system will find us on Thursday. But as far as the evening goes, quiet conditions can be expected with a quick cool down once the sun sets. We'll talk more about warmer weather on the way, and our next weather maker brings some rain showers and storms on Thursday. Details coming up.
David, thank you. Wisconsin Republican-controlled state Senate has voted to override 9 vetoes from Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Among those overrides include bills regarding funding to combat PFAS pollution, managing gray wolf populations, and requiring new post-election audits. Democrats say the Senate's efforts will ultimately be fruitless, while Republicans say they want their opponents to stop playing politics with serious issues.
We shouldn't be here today wasting time on vetoes that you all know are going to be sustained.
This is a political chess game for the Democrats and the governor. You're playing with people's lives and their investments and their families. And it's time to stop.
2/3 of both the state Senate and the Assembly must vote to override the vetoes. There are no immediate plans for the Assembly to hold a vote regarding the matter.
Meanwhile, Governor Evers issuing an executive order for a special election for the 8th Congressional District following the resignation of Mike Gallagher. That district includes Green Bay and much of northeast Wisconsin. The election will be held November 5th, coinciding with the general election for that district. The winner of the special election would serve in Congress for less than 2 months, which would be then followed by the official swearing in of the winner of the general election on January 3rd. Nomination papers can be submitted to the Wisconsin Elections Commission on June 1st. When we come back, at least 8 people are killed following a bus crash in Florida.
We'll provide the latest details regarding this deadly incident and the response from officials in the area.